You should stop using these plugins. They seem addicting at first, but if you're not careful, they will start to ruin your mixes. If this is your first time here, I'm Andrew Barr with Producing in the Box, where I teach you how to make incredible sounding music without analog gear, and I think you're better off without it. So the plugins I'm talking about are stereo widening plugins. Sometimes they're known as stereo imaging plugins, where they will take a mono signal and turn it into a stereo signal. They are kind of cool and kind of handy, but you have to be really careful with them or else they will start to ruin mixes. There are two main issues that I have with these plugins. But before I get into those plugins, I want to make sure that you are getting a good sound at the source. That's why I'm giving you my free ultimate guide to recording vocals at home. In that guide, I show you everything you need to know to get great sounding recordings at home. I really show you how to get great sounding vocals at home, but those techniques can be used across anything else that you want to record. You can just scroll down right now and click the top link in the description, and it'll be sent immediately to your inbox. So the first issue that I have with these plugins is that they create artifacts. Since you have a mono signal and you're trying to create a stereo image, there is a lot of data that needs to be digitally created in order to create that stereo image, and that creates a lot of digital artifacts. And the second issue that I have is phasing. Since it is a mono signal and you're trying to digitally create a stereo image, it tries to create some variation between the left and the right ear. And what happens is, if it's a little too close, it will start to cause phasing issues. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here I have an instance of Vocal Doubler by iZotope. This is probably one of the most transparent stereo imaging plugins that there is out there. So if I do ever use a stereo imaging plugin, it ends up being this one. But it's still not completely immune to these two main issues. So as I take this knob and drag it up, I am increasing the separation. And then as I bring the knob down towards the side, I am increasing the variation between the sides. Now this is a mono signal here, a mono vocal that I put on a stereo channel, so that way I can create that left and that right with this plugin, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
But you don't ever call me, it's pathetic. Oh, I almost gave you my...
So if I leave everything right towards the center and I just increase the variation, it's almost like I'm putting a flanger guitar pedal onto this vocal.
Devotions, you were playing my emotions just to get it.
And this becomes a problem when somebody's listening on a mono system. Either it's a mono speaker, or maybe they have a phone that doesn't have stereo speakers. Anything that brings the mix back down to mono. That's where we have most of our phasing issues. And now the second issue is some of those artifacts that it also creates. As I increase the width and bring it out into the stereo field a little bit, it starts to lose a lot of that and you don't hear it as much. But if I was to listen to that back in mono, then there would be some of those same issues popping back up.
But the truth's so loud, no more secrets now. I'm on overload, ready to explode.
So should you delete these plugins entirely? No, I don't think so. They are handy, especially if you are in a pinch. My general rule of thumb is I like to organically create a stereo image before I grab a plugin like this. If I have no other options, then I will grab a plugin like this and start to use it properly. There are a lot of little things like this that can ruin mixes and really get in the way, but there are a couple little things that you can do to actually make your mixes better. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you can just click this video right here. In that video, I show you what the most life-changing mixing trick was for me and how it really got me to get demo sounding mixes all the way to professional sounding mixes with just this one trick. So click that video and I'll see you over there. Now, as always, go create.